We're back.
We're back, baby.
Back again.
We had 3 barbecues this weekend.
Oh, fuck.
Dan fucking died.
Dude, I OD'd on barbecue for sure.
You OD'd? What'd you eat? What do you think that killed you? What was it?
I don't know. Something like I woke
Would
up
you like a beer?
Hell yeah, dude. I woke up
Crack
at
her
like,
open.
dude, what's this Space Kitty one?
I don't know. I saw it in the store and I was like, well, I got to get one of those. Doesn't Pete really like this Jerkface
IPA?
9000?
Yeah. I mean, these are all good, but I've never had the Space
I don't
Kitty.
think I've
gotta
ever
try
had
that
any
one.
of these. For some reason, I thought Jerkface 9000 was like 12% triple IPA or something.
Nah,
Maybe I'm
it's-
thinking of some other kind
bro,
of beer.
Let's go Space Kitty, bro.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Space Kitty is
Shout out to Space Kitty.
a juicy IPA, and that is a 5%. Only a 5% IPA.
Parallel 49.
Nice.
Isn't that from BC somewhere or something?
Yeah. Good brewery. A pretty good brewery. I remember like the start of craft beer. I think Parallel 49 was like close second after like Granville Island. Remember Granville
yes,
Island?
Vancouver.
Yeah. Granville Island Brewery, and they had the winter ale that was like so good for
the
a long
dankness.
time. But then they got bought
out.
Yeah.
Then they had switched to corn syrup instead of like maple syrup or whatever.
Yeah. They switched up the recipe, and then I was like,
The
this
recipe.
fucking sucks.
I mean,
just-
it's still pretty good. It's just
Yeah.
not as good. Fuckers.
It just tastes a little chemically to me.
Smells nice. That's a pretty good beer. You know, it's just so nice out. I got in my car and I was just like, oh, fuck, I really want to just like drink beer on a patio. And I was
Yeah.
okay, executive decision. Yeah, I got to go buy some beer. Because I didn't drink any beer this weekend, funnily enough.
Yeah, do drive from barbecue to barbecue. You
Yeah.
got to stay sober so you can drive all over the place to different
Yeah.
barbecues.
Can have a gummy on the way home from the final barbecue each night.
Digest.
So yeah, what do you think made you sick?
Man, I don't know. I woke up at like 3:30 in the morning and was just like sweating. I was like, what the fuck? I
You got
feel
the meat
crazy.
sweats.
And I thought I was just like, man, I have like acid reflux. I was like, fuck. So I've been doing this thing now because I keep running out of like the Tums or that kind of thing. And
yeah.
I always forget to buy some new ones, but we have baking soda.
Oh,
And if you take like I think it's like a half a teaspoon
yep.
and put it in water, it's like instantly gone.
Yeah, that's a Chris Thompson special from back in high school. I
Yeah.
remember being hungover as fuck one day, and I was just like, I have like some heartburn, like really bad heartburn, because we were drinking like disgusting, I don't know, the world's worst vodka or something all night.
Yeah,
and then he's
Russian
like,
Prince.
I was like, do you have a Tom's? He's just like, no, just dry scoop this baking soda. I was like, oh fuck. Anyways, I did it. It worked, but it's gross.
Yeah, I put it in like dissolve it in water, and it doesn't like it's not the grossest thing I've ever had. It's
It's not
worse
the
than-
grossest thing that's ever been in my mouth.
Yeah, it's like whatever. It doesn't. It just tastes like a bit like weird chemically, but it works like a motherfucker.
Yep. Just
I-
think, it probably makes like some volcano, like vinegar, baking soda volcano inside your stomach.
I don't know. Is it baking soda that they use for that experiment?
Yeah.
Oh shit! It neutralizes it pretty good,
Yeah.
and it. So I don't know.
It's the future.
That's Big Tums doesn't want you to know that though. Fucking Big Tums. Yeah, so I got up to go get a glass of water with baking soda in it, and like I walked like a couple steps and was like, oh fuck, like I'm definitely gonna throw up. Which is I like never throw up. It's so rare, and like I was just like, oh fuck, and just like absolute acid puke. I was just like, oh god,
Acid puke. Oh shit. So you didn't even get the Tums first.
no,
Oh,
it was
roasted.
just straight to the bathroom to puke. Terrible.
That
I mean,
sucks.
to be honest, like barbecue kind of fucks me up, and I refuse to admit it. But it's like
It's so delicious.
it's just like so rich and like
barbecue.
and I have that acid reflux, and it just like destroys me. And so we were supposed to jam that day, and I was just like, I'm dead because I got like no sleep. I was like tossing and turning, and then I threw up. And I threw up at like 3 a.m, and then was up at like 6. And I was like, oh god. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to.
Yeah,
jam
that'll hurt your
tonight.
singing voice.
Yeah, it was rough.
I went for a bike ride that day, like a 20K bike ride. And then when we went and had jam, I was like, oh, I'm singing great. I was like, "Whoa, this is great. Maybe that's
Dude,
a secret."
exercise
Yeah,
is
exercise.
so,
Go figure.
The last jam we did, I was like, my breath was not there, non-existent. And it's funny because I've been doing some vocal like warming up and practicing at home, and I find that if I work out first and have like at least some blood flowing and breathing a little heavier, it's like so much better. And I think it's like your voice can kind of like, or your breath can kind of like lock.
Your voice is your whole freaking body.
Yeah.
Your body is your instrument, not just your vocal cords.
Yeah.
Go figure.
But it's like, I was watching, that David Phelps guy, that singer. He's like a Christian singer guy.
Oh yeah,
He's
I
like,
think so.
coming home.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
guy. I was watching like an interview with him, and he was talking about like how important it is to just like try and get your breath like working.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I noticed that last jam. I was just like, oh, my breath is fucking stuck, and I suck.
I'm bad at breathing.
Yeah, because you'll get like sort of stuck like breathing into your chest, even though you feel like you're breathing into your diaphragm. You're just like, it just feels weird. It's just everything's too tight, right? You need to like stretch it out a little bit.
You didn't have enough Space Kitty.
I know I need to loosen up a little bit. I didn't have any.
Oh, there you go. That's your problem.
Yeah.
There's your problem. You didn't have enough
Why
Space
stretch
Kitties.
when you can have a beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stretching is dumb. Well, I mean, a beer basically does the same thing. Just loosens
It's
you
a
up,
muscle relaxant. Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I guess.
Maybe that's the new hotness.
Just muscle relaxants on stage.
Take like a handful of Robaxacet before you go on stage. What's up, guys? Maybe that's why Quaaludes were so hot in the 80s for metal
Everybody
bands.
was just performing at their peak performance because they're just so loose. It's like, oh, it's so buttery. Oh,
There's no tension in my body at all.
I can deliver the emotion of the music.
Well, it's true though. I mean, if you have tension in your hands or anywhere in your oh god, anywhere in your upper body, really, when you're playing guitar, it immediately like makes you worse. You get slower. It's hard to do stuff. It's just more challenging. I've noticed that a lot when watching like really awesome dudes shredding. There's just like no tension in their body.
Oh, it's like Yngwie. Yngwie's like
just
a fucking noodle, just like a wet noodle just flopping around. His like picking hand is just so, it looks lazy almost.
Yeah.
He's just like barely like, but it's like perfect technique for that kind of shit. That's like the dude from Surreption that Simon's had a couple lessons from, that Ian.
Oh yeah, okay.
Ian
Your boy.
Ian Wayne or something. I can't remember his name. I was just listening to a podcast
Bruce
with him.
Wayne, the Batman of shred.
And his picking hand is like insane.
Barely
but
moves.
it's just like it just looks so effortless, but he's just like shredding so fucking hard. It's insane.
Shredding is sweat.
Yeah, it's badass. Although it was funny, I was listening to the that podcast. So there's that Riff Hard podcast with like the guy from URM, Al, and then he was talking to that Ian guy from Surreption. And I was like, "Ooh, this will be a cool podcast." And I had to I had to skip a bunch of it because all they were talking about was bass. I was like,
turn it off. And
I listened
move
to
on
like
to the
10
next
minutes
instrument.
and then skip through some. They were still talking about bass, and I was like, "Well, I'll come back to this a different time." I had to turn on a
Shitty.
different podcast. I was like, eh.
Here's how you record the bass. You automate it on MIDI and then move on.
Well, that's what the guy was saying. He was like, he's like, I can count on like my fingers the amount of times I've recorded a bass player who was worth recording. And it was just like,
Roasted.
it's funny, man. Like, because I mean, I think their argument was like, if you're just playing the riffs, it's like you may as well just have the guitar player do it. I mean, that's not what we did on the last album. Pete did all the bass.
He did.
You fucking
That was my first time not playing bass on an album ever.
yeah.
That's the only album I didn't play bass
I hope
on.
that people are. I hope that people listen to it and like notice the bass and are like, because in metal it does take a back seat. Like it's just
That was our final mix note. More bass.
more bass, more low
bass.
end in particular.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was more bass.
Well, I think that's what the major fix
It's
was.
funny because when I talked to Josh, he was like, "You guys still sure about the amount of bass in this?"
hell yeah,
And I was like, I haven't even noticed. I was like, if anything, there should be more.
yeah.
Because I was listening to on a few different systems, and like it was not even. I mean, on my AirPods or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like I'm sure a lot of people listen on shit like that. It doesn't sound too bassy at all, but I don't know. Maybe it does in different systems.
I've tried my phone speakers, my like Samsung ones that come with my phone, the little earbuds, my studio monitors, and my headphones. And I think like one of those like Bluetooth stereo box things. I don't know what you call them. Oh, and a car. It all sounds fine to me.
Yeah, sounds good to me. It doesn't sound too bassy.
No.
I mean, if anything, it's like it's never going to be bassier than in any fucking hip hop or even pop song on the radio
Yeah,
these days.
yeah.
It's like it's so bass heavy that it's like the more the better, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
If
Yeah.
we're gonna change the game and become the most popular band ever,
This is the thickest low end. Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting because like when I was doing mix notes, I was comparing our mix to like pop or rap, and I was just like, oh, where'd the low end go? Like, give me more beef.
yeah, it's all that programmed low end that they got. It's just,
Yeah,
like,
well,
so thick.
theirs I guess is like programmed, so it can be super tight. And you probably need it to be like MIDI tight for
Yeah.
the low end to be like mixable and sound good, because they probably have like a whole bunch of different like octave and then a sub octave and then a sub octave, like
Oh, yeah.
down to like
Well, so
4 hertz. or
Nail the
something.
Mix has the like the latest Nickelback single.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I was watching the guy mix that, and what they do for their bass is he plays it, and then they MIDI it out, and then they use the MIDI to trigger like a sub synth
Oh, cool.
that's playing the exact like. So they go through and like meticulously make the MIDI performance exactly the same as the bass performance after it's all tracked and comped and everything. And then yeah, use that to trigger like a synth bass thing that does the low end.
That's cool.
So it's like super beefy low end.
Super
Dude, so many fucking tricks, and
I gotta watch that one.
it's funny because like you're like, man, Nickelback drums sound insane. They're just samples. It's just samples. It's so funny how many times I'm like, man, this mix sounds fucking nuts. And then you watch the mixer do it, and it's just like, so yeah, here's the
You're
like,
superior drummer.
Here's the level of the acoustic kit, and here's the sample. And you can't hear, it's just sample.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how you get that crazy larger than life sound. It's like you just don't get it out of a live performed kit.
Yeah.
So it's like when you want that larger than life stadium shit. And I mean, at this point, it's like, who gives a shit? I couldn't care less how a band comes, like, makes their music. Like,
It's just an idea at
I
the end
don't
of the day,
care.
right?
I've lost all.
You want the best version of your idea to come out.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, it's
I
just-
just watched a thing. It was like a guy like speed running a beat. So it's like a Instagram reel. It's like 30 seconds to maybe 60 seconds long. And the dude just programs the whole beat, and then you just repeat that, slight changes. There's an entire song, and it'll get more plays than like most rock songs.
Yeah.
It's just like, who cares? It's a shit.
Yeah.
As long as it's fucking sick, and it's like, as long as you still, if you're advertising that you're performing it live, as long as you're still doing most of it live, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like there was that whole thing with the double kicks.
The fake double
The fake
kicks.
double kicks, and I'm just like, yeah, that's sort of, it would depend. Like I would expect that out of like Nickelback or something, like because they're just like, we want our sound to be like, you know, this is
It's entertainment more than like
yeah,
a
it's like
musical
the
performance.
WWE version
Oh,
of
yeah, for
rock
sure, yeah.
music, where it's like, but if you go to like we're more of like the backyard wrestling. You
Yeah.
go to see the raw, gritty shit. Like you want to see, like that's what we are. You come and see us fuck up all
What-
the solos and
What was the
sing flat the whole show.
what was that guy? Juggalos, juggalettes, whoop whoop.
Oh, Superhuman.
Yeah, Superhuman. This is Superhuman TV.
Shout out to Superhuman.
Yes, Superhuman TV. So yeah, we're the Superhuman TV of rock and metal. Juggalos, juggalettes,
yeah.
whoop whoop.
I've
Fuck
definitely
this
seen
shit.
I've definitely seen some posts lately that were like the opposite. People being really like critical of, you know, it's like modern metal's just programmed shit, and it's like, bro, you sound like a boomer. It's like,
Crap
and these
mentality.
aren't boomers, and it's just like it's that, you know, like when you see other,
They're just mad.
yeah, it's like when you see other people doing stuff that you want to be doing, and then you're like, well, what is it about them that I can like tear down?
It's like unrealistic body standards.
It really is, I guess.
It's like, oh, that's not realistic. That chick is like perfect. It's like, oh yeah, well, I have to try and live up to Eddie Van Halen, and he fucking smokes me. Huh? My
it's like-
Fifi.
Yeah, there's literally like so many guitar players on Instagram that are just like absolute monsters who are just not even in bands for some reason.
Yeah.
It's just like they just love the instrument and they just love the idea of getting better and better and better at that instrument, which is cool. But it's like you sort of like have to be, you sort of have to like separate that from like, well, that's like being the best sprinter. It's like, yeah, you got really good at that, but that doesn't mean you're the best soccer player.
Yeah.
You know, it's like nobody's really watching the sprinter. Like, it's like you watch
Yeah.
Olympic sprinting, some people do, but it's like, think about how many people watch like soccer or football or whatever
Yeah.
compared to that. It's
A
like
pro sport.
Yeah, you just got really good at this thing that sort of doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, it's super impressive and it's cool to see the limits of what people can do, but it's also like it's just not entertaining enough to like have that mass appeal. Like a big
Watch me
sport.
shred 64th notes at 200 BPM.
Yeah, it's like I want to see you do that after like 3 beers and driving for 10 hours live.
And also write
Then
a
I
cool
would be
song.
like, you're literally the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like, you're insane.
If you can implement 64th notes at 200 BPM in a really cool song
Yeah.
and it sounds good, then that's cool. But just shitting it out is dumb.
It's like the prog snobbery.
Yeah.
Oof.
Check it out.
Boy, do I dislike that.
I made this beat in 713. Cool. Who cares?
What?
Does
Yeah.
it sound good? No? Okay.
I mean, even when it sounds good, it's cool. And it's like, that's like, good job.
brain.
Good job making like a cool song. But it's like, what's the point in being like, this is clearly so much better? And it's like,
It's all subjective.
I bet you if you did a prog album, and then you do one song on it that's 4/4 and a regular like rock beat, that it'll be
That's
your most
everyone's
listened song.
Yeah, it was like Outlaws of Ravenhurst. They have kind of like a disco-y song. Muckle
that-
John.
And it
I-
just rules.
Yeah, it's like the best song, but it's funny because I remember talking to one of those guys, or maybe Adam was, and I was like, "Oh, I love that song," and they're like, "Yeah, everybody does. We didn't want to put it on the album because we thought it was like lame or something."
It's so funny. Well, okay, so that gets me around to something I was going to want to talk about was I feel so strangely uncomfortable listening to the new album with people like for the first time. Like, I don't like doing it. Like, people keep asking and being like, "Hey, like, I want to listen to the album," like, you know. And I'm like, "Dad, that's fine. If I trust them enough, it's like I'll send the album."
Yeah,
You know, I'm like, just don't fucking post it on the internet or whatever. I don't think anybody would really, but I would rather people just listen to it on their own,
yeah.
not like with me. You know what I mean?
They're looking into your eyes
Dude,
every
it's like,
time you're
it's
singing.
so awkward. And the thing is, it's like, I feel like I'm glad that I'm uncomfortable with it, because I was thinking about it today. I was like, I'd rather be like slightly unsure about like, you know, it's like there's some things on there that are you know, maybe not as typical. It's like it's not safe. Like, a lot of what we did on the album is not like what I would consider really safe.
It's very racist.
Yeah,
This is the
wildly
most
racist.
racist album ever.
No, but it's like, you know, just different styles of stuff that we're doing, and you know, it doesn't necessarily fit like maybe what some people perceive as the
Some
band.
people.
But I mean, at the same time, there are songs that definitely do fit that, and it's been funny listening to it with different people. Like when we went over to Ace's place and listened,
Yeah.
it was like all the gals were like, "We like this song, and this song," and those are like the softest,
Yeah.
you know, the most like AOR type songs, and then it's like all the dudes are like, "I like this one, and this one." It's like, okay, so it's like clearly this is two different types of things.
We did a
But-
good job then.
well, that's what I'm hoping, is that uncomfortableness that I have is like good in a way, because it's like if it's not safe for me, then I think then that's bodes well to being like, at least it's an interesting enough album
Yeah.
that it's not just like, oh yeah, you put that one on and it's exactly what you think it would be.
Well, my girlfriend has been showing her friends. Some of them I've never really met or have only been like met for a couple minutes or something. And they're like, oh my God. I mean, I think she's mostly showing them the softer songs.
Yeah, yeah.
The more accessible ones.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, oh wow, I really like this. And it's like, they probably, I mean, there certainly could be the aspect of they're just, you know, patronizing.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to be nice.
Confirmation bias.
But I guess like some of her friends are like, oh, I really want to, can you like give me that song? I really want to keep listening to it. Or they'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, I've had that song stuck in my head for a couple days. And it's like, she probably just showed it to them like once. So that's a good sign.
Earworms.
Yep.
Later, virgins. Girls like our band
girls
now.
like our band. We're not.
We're out of here. We're going to space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's a weird thing because I've had to kind of like explain it to people, and I'm just like, it's not that I don't want you to listen to it. It's just that I don't want to be there while you're listening.
I just don't want to be around you while you listen.
Well, yeah,
to
because
it.
it's like, and the analogy I've always made was like, it's like if you wrote a short story and you were like really proud of it, and then you had someone read it out loud in a group setting to everybody, and you'd have to just sit there and be like, oh fuck, like nobody wants to go through that.
Either that or it's like a homemade sex tape. So yeah, you getting a boner off this?
It's like, are you liking this?
You like this?
Is this good for you?
Yeah, I liked it. As you can tell.
It was everything I wanted.
Yeah, I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah, man, it's so funny. I sent it to Corey. No response yet.
This sucks.
I
Fuck
hate
you
this.
guys. I'm not coming on tour. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. Dude, tour? What's touring?
Yeah, I don't
What's
even know.
touring, bro?
There was another band. It's like, it seems like almost every day. Maybe it's just like confirmation bias because I click on the articles
Yeah.
on like Facebook or whatever. But it seems like almost every day there's another large-ish band announcing that they're canceling a tour. I think it was Suicide Silence or something like that.
Oh, shit.
Some other band, I don't fucking remember, but they canceled European tour. It's just like, fuck, every day there's like another band canceling. It's like, shit, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
it's curtains.
I think it must be going to sort of stabilize at some point.
Yeah.
Or else it's just like, I mean, there's still all these crazy big festivals. Like, I submitted for a bunch.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I submitted in the most PUD way you could possibly submit, where you're just
Yeah.
like, hey, what do you think about our band? Do you want us on your fucking festival?
In theory, we'll be over in a couple weeks. Please
Please,
give us a
fucking,
spot to play.
please. We want so badly to play your festival. But I mean, at the same time, it's like,
Yeah, there's tons of bands dropping off, dying, fucking
Yeah.
breaking up, all kinds of
put
shit.
us on, man. Why
Put
not?
us on your shit, bro.
We will shred.
Yeah.
The crowd will be stoked.
Yeah, we'll take Anthrax's spot.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Pretty much the same band. We have all the same hits.
Yeah.
We have the fast one. We have the slow one. We got the mid-tempo one. Easy.
Easy peasy. We got the old school and we got the new school stuff.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get something sorted out for that tour because it's looking a little dicey.
It is curtains. I think what happened for a lot of festivals and also bands, it's like last year was the first festival season since COVID, so everyone like blew their load trying to go over and play, which is sort of what we did.
That's what we did.
And the like financial reality is catching up to them, but I think that's also happening to festivals and venues too. They like reopen maybe when they shouldn't have or stuff like that, because I mean there still are people who are nervous and apprehensive about going to shows and whatever. Also, everything's like fucking a million times more expensive now. So if, say, you're like some dude in the USA who would fly over to a European festival, which there's a lot of people that do that, or from wherever, you know, I mean, I bet a festival like Wacken or like Metal Days, which you played last year, or, you know, all of those bigger ones, there's probably like half the people aren't, from that country, especially in the smaller, like Metal Days, probably for sure.
Yeah.
But Wacken, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of German people there, but there's people from fucking everywhere there.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Or like at 70,000 tons of metal, it's like 88 countries or something.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, I mean, like, a ton of people are from everywhere. And if suddenly flights are twice as expensive, people are like, I was going to go to this festival, but it's just too expensive now. It's just like, okay, well, I think the rest of the world needs to catch up with all these corporate profiteers.
Dude, I don't understand why everything's more expensive.
I think
it just like none of it really makes sense. It's like it's almost like enough people just agreed that everything was more expensive, and then we're just like now everything's more expensive.
I think what really happened, because I follow a lot of I like to watch one economics YouTube channel.
Yeah, perfect.
So I'm a
he's
fucking
right.
expert.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, they're talking about all the like COVID bailouts and stuff, and most COVID bailouts, like the most amount of money, went to businesses generally, at least in like the Western world.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, these businesses got a whole bunch of money, and then businesses do a lot of business with other businesses. So they're like, oh, I got a shit ton of money. Now I can like ramp up my production or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they just like charged more for everything. And because a whole bunch of businesses got like these big bailouts and they didn't have to pay back whatever
Like,
loans and shit.
We got money, so we don't need to rely on this profit margin.
Yeah, and then they're like,
just
wait a second, COVID's here. It's a little bit more risky. Let's like raise the prices on everything just in case, shit gets wild again. They're like, wait a second. People are still buying the shit.
Keep it high.
Yeah, keep it high. Why would we have the prices low? Fuck it. And I'm just like, wow, we're making so much money. Fuck all y'all.
Yeah, it sucks because
Because I think there was like that huge stock market. Like the stock market was going insane. Like, what was that? Like after in like the second year of COVID, sort of.
yeah.
Like the first year, everything was all like fucked, and then the stock market just
it
went
was like,
berserk.
oh, everything's gonna be fine, and then they're like,
Yeah, and they're just like, yeah, let's get this fucking government money. Let's go. I mean, people got bailed out, but I think it was mostly companies got most of the money.
I mean, in I guess their reasoning behind that is probably like if you bail a company out, that in theory would trickle down to like
You're bailing out all the
it'll
employees.
be like stabilized for the employees. It's like, okay, now they don't have to lay off all their employees and they can keep working. And like in theory,
In theory. I'm not gonna have one of these filthy.
I'll take a Mondo. What is it like?
This is a filthy dirty. It's 7.5%. So I'm gonna skip that one for
Yeah,
now,
I'll
so
get
I
one of
don't
those ones.
crash my
I don't-
car.
I don't have to drive, so
I'm gonna try one of these Jerkface 9000s.
nice. I like the cans. Good cans.
nice and
Phillips.
colorful. That one has a cat. This one has
Ian worked here for a bit.
Oh shit!
Worked at Ian, former guitar player of the band Striker, Ian Sandercock. He worked there for a bit. I
Where was he
believe he
this
said it
weekend?
was a shit show.
Huh? When was
Because
that?
he said
10 years ago?
so these guys had a big boom. Like Parallel, like all of a sudden, like craft beer demand went way up, and Parallel was like one of the ones that got like into the
I
fast
do remember many
lane.
people talking about Jerkface 9000.
Yeah. So it got. I think they like just grew so fast that it was like them keeping up was like chaos, right? Because it's like there's like more business than you can scale to, kind of thing.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, they're just like, oh, but I don't know. I think he probably liked that job, but might have been a little chaotic or something.
This tastes pretty good. It tastes a lot like Space Kitty. It's maybe
They
a
just
little.
put a different label on the can.
Yeah.
yeah. These fuckers don't know anything.
Well, this one is a juicy IPA, and this is a Northwest Wheat. Okay, I guess technically they're different kinds of beer. But,
There's a Northwest Wheat, a wheat beer. Huh?
I mean, it doesn't really taste like a wheat beer.
Here we are going against the LGBT crowd, not drinking Bud Light, dude. Look at us. Apparently, they took like a 25% hit.
I did. I saw that.
Yeah, it's like, damn, bro. That's so fucking sad.
Yeah.
It's like, man, tell us you hate gay people, but don't tell us that you hate gay people.
Yeah, no
it's like,
shit.
what the fuck, man? It's like, really? That was all it took?
Well, what? Because they've had the rainbow can forever. So
Dude, it was just
was
like,
it that they had
it was Kid Rock's fault.
what? Didn't Bud Light get a drag queen spokesperson or something?
Yeah,
I've still never seen an ad or anything about it.
Dylan Mulvaney, I think her name is. She's like a trans TikToker who's like super famous. Like has like, I don't know, some bazillion fucking followers on TikTok. But it's just like a, I don't know, trans. I think trans. Like
I don't know.
identifies as a woman.
Way
But,
she goes.
But yeah, like that was, and it was just like one video of her being like, I don't even know what beer is, but I like Bud Light or something. Like, it was like so dumb. And then like someone, I'm sure it like spawned off of Twitter, because Twitter's just like a wasteland of just hate, and it's
Especially now.
dude, it's fucking crazy. I think it always has been. Like I see so many like poached onto Reddit like Twitter posts.
That's the only way I
that I'm
view
just like,
Twitter.
I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
That one fucking guy, I've talked about him before. It's like every time, it's like he's done a million tweets that are like, gotcha, Donald Trump, you're fucked. And it's just like
yeah, that
nothing
guy?
ever happens.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man,
Has like gray curly hair or something.
yes, that guy. And it's just like, bro, you're just as bad as any of these other fucking people. You're just like continuing the cycle of fucking bullshit. Hate.
Everyone's mad at everyone. Plus, Donald Trump, he ain't in jail.
It's like the idea of ignoring the bully. And the bully has no power. It's like the exact opposite. They're like, let's give this person way more publicity than they ever would get.
They're throwing gasoline on the fire.
But by just being like, I guess that's, what is that, virtue signaling?
Yeah.
Or just sharing your like obvious opinion. It's like, yeah, okay, you don't like Donald Trump. It's like, that's obvious. That's like 90%, well, maybe not 90%, 50% of Americans.
50% of Americans. Well, technically, in the last election, didn't he get the general vote or something?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I don't remember.
It's like, I think when he won, he won the electoral college or whatever that's called.
Or maybe whatever.
he got
It's a
slightly
50-50 chance of whether he got the whether I'm right or wrong here. One of those things, someone who was elected didn't get the popular vote. And I don't remember what year it was or what election, but someone got fucked.
Dude, so
elections are bullshit anyway.
on Bet365.
Oh, can you bet on things other than sports on there?
Yeah. You can bet on what they're called futures. And that's just like, it can be a lot of different things. But I put a $5 bet on Donald Trump winning the next 2024.
Nice.
And okay, so they have a cash out option usually. So that cash out is like, it'll go, depending on how the odds start to change, it'll give you the option to cash out for more or less, usually less, because it's like, okay, while the game, so like you're betting on a sports game, it's like if your bet is like for one team to win and then they're losing, the cash out will be lower. Or if they're winning, it might be your cash out's higher, to kind of entice you to be like, quit while I'm ahead kind of thing, right? And the bet is $5, the return is $22.50, and the cash out is at $5.20.
Nice.
So it's above. So the odds are like actually better as far as whoever made these odds.
Yeah, there you go.
Donald Trump, they would rather pay me 20 cents to cash this out.
You cash out now,
It's like,
for sure.
Shit.
Man, politics, like American politics in like the last, I don't know. Like when I was in university, that's when like your boy Bush was in. And I remember watching like Colbert Report and like,
Dude, I used to love the Colbert Report.
yeah, it's so funny. And then like, because I was a poli-sci minor, so I was like, oh, I know everything.
And a minor.
Yeah. Woo-wee. But it was like, people are like, oh my God, Bush is so bad. And then it's like, we're here now. And it's just like, bro, what is even going on? It's just like pure chaos in American politics. And I think it's always been a bit of a shit show, but I feel like it's like just extreme insanity these days.
Dude, the whole thing's, it's amazing that any of it holds up at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. That's why I always think like some of these conspiracy things are like, I really hope there's some master plan type people, because it's like outside of that, people are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And their ideas are terrible. Like, to get so riled up over like the Bud Light company, Anheuser-Busch corporate mega juggernaut,
Yeah.
being like, yeah, let's try and get some of the LGBT people to buy Bud Light.
Yeah.
And doing like a little ad thing, and then them being like, you know what? I'm triggered. I can't buy Bud Light anymore. I can't buy my favorite beer anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's such a knee-jerk reaction for like an issue that they have no, it's probably not even affecting their lives in any way. And they're just like, I can't. I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. It's like, man, people are fucked.
Fuck shit.
It's like, I mean, if you
That
don't,
doesn't make sense to me, so fuck you.
yeah. I mean, it'll be funny. Like, I wonder what it'll be like in 100 years. I wonder what like sexuality will be like in 100 years.
Oh, it'd be great. You can be fucking your robot.
Dude, there'll be no sex happening. It'll
no
be
sex guaranteed. Yeah, for sure.
It'll just be like the government. It will be like collecting a taxation of sperm and eggs.
Yeah.
It'll be like part of a thing. You have to go in like once a month, and you have to like submit your shit to go into test tubes to create more fucking babies.
Yeah.
And they just get in vitroed, or they just grow up in a fucking test tube.
Yeah, grow up on a farm, and then they release a new batch every
Yeah, they're like,
3
okay,
years.
here's these ones. We're gonna release them to the mothers and fathers camp, where they like hopefully will learn how to be humans.
This generation is going to have more than normal for the amount of musicians in it. Oh shit, this generation's doomed.
Dude, I did a personality test,
Yeah.
and
Which one?
I can't remember. It was just like a website that did like a
Is it the Myers-Briggs one? And you get like 4 letters?
yes,
INTJ
yes.
or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm like ENFP, ENTP or something.
I'm a FART.
I'm a SHIT.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking it up, because I was just interested. I think I saw it on Reddit. Someone was talking about it, and I was like, oh, okay. I took the test, did the thing, and then it was like, number one was on my thing was musician. And I was like, okay, cool. And then it was like more about this personality type. It's like on general, like average salary income is like
$0.
$30,000 to $50,000 a year, and I was like, shit,
Fuck.
damn it.
Fuck you, parents.
But I've been thinking about that because, like, I mean, why? If you could,
Bro, you were born into it.
if you could take a genetic test and it would tell you, like, it's like Gattaca,
Yeah.
where it's like, this is what you're going to be good at. So just do this or you won't be happy. I was like, well, that kind of makes sense. I'm like, maybe that is. It's like, some of it really did resonate because I was like, a lot of it was sort of, you need to be doing like creative problem solving.
Yep.
Like, you can't, and that was like sort of a big thing. And I'm like, I've seen that throughout my life, being like, like that when I'm enjoying what I'm doing, usually it's like some sort of creative thing. Even if it's like at work, if it's like creative problem solving, it's like that's rewarding to me.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like really mundane shit or analytical shit, it's like I can't focus on it as well. Yeah, I just can't, it's just not really for me. So what I'm saying is I need the technocratic government to issue me my musician's license so I can forever be a musician.
Yeah. I need my musician's license.
Look at my personality test. Clearly it's the only thing I
have a
can
Juno. That's what there.
do. If I don't do that, I'll go on a murderous rampage.
Yeah. If I can't do music, then I'm permanently disabled. I'm no good to society unless I'm
Exactly.
shredding.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see, like, I bet you, like, the most successful bands are, like, a funny mix of, like,
Yeah.
those types of personalities.
You need to specialize. I'm the, I think it's called the architect, one of the purple ones.
The campaigner.
Oh, no, that's you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Supposedly.
I think that's Michelle as well. my girlfriend. So there you go. You're basically my girlfriend.
There you go. No wonder you like her so much. Yeah, like it was pretty interesting to like see.
Yeah, I remember doing that, and then we're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. These things that I'm reading, they sound accurate.
What was it called again?
The Architect.
No, the like the test.
Oh, Myers-Briggs.
Myers-Briggs. So if you're out there,
Myers.
fucking take the test.
Yeah,
You can do it online.
it's free.
It's free. And then post your results so we can, and then tell us what you do and if you like it or not.
One thing I do remember from my many years misspent on Tinder and Bumble and never getting any matches was that people would like post their Myers-Briggs personalities in there. I'm a blah blah blah. I'm an FART looking for a BARF, and
I'm
it's
a
like
BITCH.
yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
like oh okay. I mean, I guess it does make sense though, because like in the Myers-Briggs things, they're like, oh, these are the kinds of people that you generally end up working well with, and for me, like my personality type, it's like, oh, you work really well with the campaigner person, and it's like, oh, look at that.
There you go, campaigners.
Yeah, well, it's like the yin and the yang, because Adam's done it too, and he's something close to the campaigner. I'm not sure if he's the campaigner or not, but
Yeah.
he's the E whatever shit.
Slightly softer.
Yeah, he's the extrovert social person, and
Yeah.
then so it's just like, and then he, like, his wife is very her Myers-Briggs personality thing is similar to mine, and that it's like the, I don't know, thinker person.
Yeah, it's a little more like analytic or some.
So it's kind of like those kind of personalities work well together, I guess.
Yeah.
I always need an extrovert to help me.
Yeah. Drag you out and
Where's
do
my
shit.
extrovert?
Yeah. I mean, it's been interesting because I was like thinking about it, and you know, I find that like I think a lot of people with the campaign or whatever thing it is get diagnosed with like ADHD, and I think it's because like you want to like do stuff, but it's like in chunks. You want to do like this thing for a little bit and then this thing for a little bit, and I find that like when I've had like sort of more noticeably successful days being productive at home, I'm switching between things a lot. Where I'm like, I'm doing writing some music, then I'm doing some fucking laundry, and then I'm doing other shit or whatever. I was like, you know, it's like you like switch between the different things, and like that seems to be like a really like happy. Oh my God, Leela, don't do it.
Ooh,
We got the cable from the
stealthy.
camera like hung here just the height where the dog could definitely destroy the camera, but she was super slick there. Good job, Leela.
Nice work, Leela.
But yeah, I don't know. It was pretty interesting. I remember, so Chris did that, I think, for a bunch of people at his work, because it's like part of a thing where you're like, figure out what your team's good at, and then assign them the different things that'll actually A, make them happy, and B, they'll be good at, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's like the perfect scenario. Chris is a good boss.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, imagine your boss got you to take a personality test that was fairly accurate, and then played to your strengths.
Yeah, we did that at my work. That's sometimes what we do for at like we do a lot of like mission and vision workshops for like big companies or organizations, like government organizations. They'll be like, okay, everybody on the board do a fucking whatever, and it's just like, it's kind of funny. We did a medical college recently, and everybody was one type.
Oh shit!
And there was one person who wasn't, and they're like, okay, that guy's doing the accounting work, because he was like not, he was just like a different type. Because it's, I mean, when you're in like a specialized field like that, I guess you kind of need to be a certain kind of person.
That would make sense. It's like, so Janine twisted her ankle.
Yeah,
I can't remember if that happened on the last time we did the podcast.
I didn't.
Maybe not.
I'm gonna
Anyways,
twist my brain.
yeah,
bro.
did a bit of a bad step down the front stairs there, and like twisted her ankle really bad. But going to the emergency room to get it x-rayed and stuff, it's like man, what a job being like. an
Yeah, your
emergency-
shit's fucked. That must
Just-
hurt a lot.
I mean, it was what was crazy was like the doctor who came in to look at her foot had a broken ankle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and another guy in the room had some sort of foot problem as well,
Yeah.
like some sort of pain in his foot. He thought he broke it or something. It was just like, oh man, that's going around. Everybody's fucking falling down.
Yeah. Conk. Ow.
That sucks. But
Shit.
good tip for anybody if you do fuck your ankle up, office chair instead of crutches. If you want to if you can roll around the house in an office chair, it's been working for Janine.
It's the future. You should just
good.
get her a wheelchair.
Yeah, I mean honestly, this is probably better because it's like everything works. You know, it's not like she's
Yeah, you can slide under whatever.
yeah. You just move around. It's pretty good.
Zoom, zoom.
Works.
So speaking of conspiracies that we touched on recently, bro, have you seen all those things on Reddit about the like UFO files that were like,
Oh no,
That guy-
wasn't that a whistleblower?
yeah, he
Who
like
said-
came out.
He's like, they definitely recovered a body from like a not off planet.
Yeah, and then he's like, we 100% have vehicles that were not made by humans, like
Sick.
interplanetary spacecraft, and the American government has them. And he's like, we have a bunch of them. We have several.
So sick.
And so yeah, that guy was on like a bunch of different. He was on.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen.
I mean, that happens all the time. Like, there was that other guy who was like on Joe Rogan being like, "Oh yeah, we saw these like pill-shaped UFO
Oh, yeah,
things
yeah.
that like flew around." The footage is fucked. It's like, what was that?
yeah,
It's like nothing makes it. It couldn't be anything. So it's
Yeah.
like, I guess it is, but they're like, "Wow, it's unidentified flying object." It's like, well, what the fuck is that?
well, we don't know what it is.
Like, we're not sure if they're from the center of the earth or not. Dude, I wish so badly some of this shit was true because it would just be so fucking wild. The idea that, so the flat earth idea where you've got the like, I guess it would be like the North Pole is the middle of like this giant expanse of like, there's an ice wall and then beyond the ice wall is like a whole bunch of other continents.
Sick.
So it's just like there's like a ring. It's like it's all the continents of Earth spread out
Yep.
flat, and then there's like a ring of ice, and then outside of that, it's just a whole bunch of other continents just spread around with totally different fucking shit going on.
Maybe that's like, because like
How cool would that be?
we're in like the third dimension, right? And the Earth is like a fucking sphere, or maybe it's flat. Who knows?
What's a Taurus? Maybe.
Maybe.
What's the Taurus one that goes in and out like that or some shit?
Yeah, one of those a Mobius strip where it spins around.
Yeah, exactly.
The Earth is a Mobius strip. It's flat, but it's also in a big circle. Anyways, what if it was like in another dimension? Because like if you take a piece of paper and like flatten it out, and you like drew a sphere on a piece of paper, right?
Yeah.
Like you can do like a representation of a 3-dimensional object on a 2D surface.
Yeah.
What if our Earth is like a 3-dimensional representation in a 4D surface or something?
Bro.
And then it's like,
Oh, dude.
then it's like, you know, the South Pole being the ice wall. It's just like, oh yeah, this makes total sense. But there could be all kinds of weird shit
How
because it's
fucking
like,
sick would
imagine
that be?
like 500 years ago, everyone's like, oh no, fucking God created the universe and the Earth is only 2,000 years old and blah blah blah. And it's like if they were transported to now, they'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
They'd be like, you guys are dumbasses.
Yeah, you guys are dumb as shit. You're fucking stupid. Actually, they probably fit right in a lot of different places.
I guess if they're going from the past to the future, they'd be like, everything's pretty normal.
Yeah,
So yeah, we
where
still
they
hate
end up.
everybody.
Yeah.
I still hate all these other people. Yeah, I really like that. I also like the Hollow Earth one. So sick. Could you imagine? They're like, oh, the Third Reich is still alive, and it's
Yeah, they're
inside the Earth.
They're in the center of the Earth. That'd be pretty badass. If
It's
there was like
so
dinosaurs and
sick.
shit down there.
Dude, it's just like,
Dinosaurs are fucking sweet.
because like the idea would be like there's some sort of the core of the Earth
What if it was
is
like a tiny black
is
hole?
like a tiny sun in there.
Oh, that's sweet.
So that it's like it's just small enough that it's like it's sort of the same as the outside. So it's like you have this inner wall of like the Earth,
Yeah.
and it's exactly the same as the outer crust or whatever, but there's just like a really small like energy sun in the middle, or like the core is like floating
Keeping everybody
around.
warm, keeping the
Yeah.
plants happy.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
The
know.
fuck do
I've
we
never
know?
been down to the core of the planet, so
No one has.
yeah.
Well, that's crazy because like there's only, what is it, like the farthest that they've drilled is like not that far.
Yeah, I think it's just like a couple kilometers.
Yeah. Let's see.
We'll Google it. ChatGPT, what's the farthest humans have drilled into the center of the Earth? 500,000 million kilometers. What? That doesn't sound right.
Deepest
What is the
hole?
deepest hole? Bro, I got the deepest hole, let me tell you.
ever drilled.
My butt doctor drilled the deepest hole ever into my butt.
Your mama, dude. In terms of depth below surface, the Kola Super Deep Borehole SG3 retains the world record at 12,262 meters,
That's pretty deep.
40,000 feet. Reached in 1989 and is still the deepest artificial point on Earth.
What do you think they shoved down there?
I bet they were just trying to drill and see what the fuck was up.
Oh,
I mean,
they're disposing alien bodies down there.
Dude, absolutely. They're
12
trying to get to the inside.
12K down? Yeah, they're putting something they don't want anybody to see down there.
I love, dude. It's fun. It's fun to think about. This is why I feel like religion can be so fun and like interesting for people. Is like it is fun to think like there's something just totally wild happening, and you're just like, yeah, that's sick. It's like, yeah, Jesus was totally real, and he was like fucking awesome. And they're like, yeah,
Does
that's
he turned water into wine? That guy's my dog.
Yeah, he walked on fucking water, turned bread into fish, or whatever the fuck he did. It's just like, yeah, it's like a sick story to believe for fun.
Yeah.
But it's just like outrageous. But I mean, it's like, how can people? Okay, so flat Earth clearly seems insane. But then, how can like the government of the United States have "In God We Trust" on their fucking money? It's like, what?
Because they damn boys.
It's just like, okay,
They know something. God is actually an alien. And he's fucking
the creator, man.
yeah. God was actually Jesus. And that's why Jesus has alien superpowers, because he's actually an alien.
Bro, but what the fuck was with Jesus? Okay, so
Let's
nobody
list
talks-
Jesus' superpowers.
Dude, nobody talks about this, but Jesus was like missing for a while, and they said he went to like Buddhist, like he went to like Tibet or something like that. From like when he was like
well, if
a
I know
teenager to 30, he just disappeared. And
if
was
I
like,
know anything about the Catholic Church, he was probably banging little kids.
he had to do a stint. He
Yeah.
got thrown in jail for like 15 years.
Yeah. He got canceled for a little while.
Goddamn.
The little kids were too
Jesus'
sexy for him.
superpowers. Okay.
You can turn water into wine. I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty good superpower, because you could kill anyone. You just go up to them, touch them, turn
Turn
all
your
the
body
water.
into wine.
You're just like, oh fuck. Yeah, immediately dead. To fucking
I never thought about it that way.
that'd be the
That is pretty crazy.
yeah. Does he have to touch the wine or the water? I don't know. You could also just
I think he
completely
just-
ruin any country's water source. Does it apply
Pretty
to ice?
OP. Honestly, it's OP.
Yeah, OPAF. If he wants to like kill all humans, just turn the oceans into wine. All the creatures die. Everyone just goes extinct.
Damn, dude. I wonder if he ever thought of that. Maybe that would take too much out of him. Maybe he'd be like, oh, you know, like some super,
I need a senzu bean.
like some superheroes. They can't. There's a limit to the amount that they can do some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he could definitely kill one person, because didn't he feed like a whole bunch of people or something?
Yep.
Fucking Jesus' superpowers. He can. What did he do with bread? Did
His body was the bread. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I can't remember.
he make a bunch of fish or something?
Yeah, he did something with fish and bread. I
Okay,
can't
so he
remember.
can create matter.
I guess so.
Okay.
Maybe
Or maybe he
he
turned
could summon it.
turned
He
the-
could summon fish and possibly bread. So he's gluten, the Lord of the gluten.
Lord of Gluten. Okay, so either he can summon fish from the sea, or he can create matter, or he can turn like maybe he turned a bunch of the air molecules into fish or something. So he has one of
OP,
those
another
three.
OP.
Yeah. Oh, he has one of those three powers. That's pretty good too, because then he could,
He
in
can
theory,
walk on water,
yeah, that's pretty
so
cool.
he could essentially levitate, I guess.
Yeah,
Or he's mastery of water,
yeah,
essentially.
yeah. He's a water elemental, basically.
I'm gonna just Google list of Jesus' superpowers and see if anything comes up.
I think those are the only three that. He can come back to life. That's a pretty good
He
one.
can't be killed.
What happened to Jesus when he returned to heaven? Did he just disappear or some shit? I don't remember this from Bible school.
What?
So he died, and then he eventually went to heaven, right? What did he do? Just disappear?
Miracles of Jesus.
Did he
That's
just,
what they call them miracles?
Did he just get dusted or something? Is this like Avengers? Did he just turn into dust? Or did he? Because he got
he could
crucified.
cure people.
Oh,
He had
cured?
healing-
That's pretty
he had
good.
healing powers.
So he's like Wolverine.
Gallery. Okay, so healing the mother of Peter's wife.
Okay, so he can heal people.
Healing.
That's
So
pretty
healing
good.
the deaf mute, healing the blind. Lot of healing blind people.
Okay, so he heals people.
So healing, cleansing a leper, so he can cleanse as well. I guess that counts as healing.
Yeah.
He had power over demonic spirits. A
That's
boy
pretty
possessed
badass.
by demons.
So wait,
So
can he
he's
control them?
he's like a Templar priest type.
Okay.
He's like a
Yeah.
holy.
He's a
knight.
paladin.
He's a paladin essentially.
Level
yeah.
90 paladin with
Yeah.
cleanse aura active.
Yeah. Christ exercising at sunset. So he was exercising motherfuckers. He was resurrected from the dead. So he was also a necromancer, it sounds like. Young man from Nain, daughter of Garius, raising of Lazarus. So I think he also summoned zombies.
That's pretty bad.
He's basically
badass, sorry.
he's basically every character from Diablo together.
But did he does he have super strong
Dude,
physical strength?
he
Is he
has-
a barbarian? Can
He has
smash
control over nature, so he might be a fucking bard or whatever that. What's the one that's
The druid?
The druid. That's it.
it? Okay.
Marriage at Cana, walking on water, calming the storm.
So he has elemental. So yeah, he must
he's
be
an
a druid.
elemental.
He can summon
Feeding the multitude.
I don't know what Diablo character
the
feeds
drought
things,
of
but
fishes. Cursing the fig tree. What the fuck is that?
a curse?
Coins. Yeah, he can cast curses.
Okay, so yeah, he's more and more like a
That's all of them.
necromancer.
Dude, Jesus is actually fucking
Yeah,
crack.
Jesus OP. Jesus OP.
Yeah, confirmed OP.
Okay,
that's crazy.
now I'm looking up what are the superpowers of miracles of Muhammad. Here we go.
Jesus praying to God and using only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish feeds thousands of men. So
Maybe it was just an illusion. I guess that could be another possible.
he's also
way to feed
could
him.
be a trickster as
Yeah,
well.
he could
He's
be.
a bit of a thief.
Okay, so miracles of Muhammad.
Oh yeah, let's see how they stack up.
Yeah. Blah 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 blah. List of miracles. Here we go.
Yeah.
Quran. The revelation of the Quran is considered by Muslims to be Muhammad's greatest miracle and a miracle for all times, according to Wikipedia. I don't know what that means. Writing the book, I guess?
Oh, it was like a miracle that he wrote that book.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Scientific miracles.
So he can write books.
The theory of the scientific miracle. Well, he's not doing any cool superpower shit from what I'm reading. Oh, wait. Okay. These interpretations state that some of the verses of the Quran reflect prophetic statements about the nature and structure of the universe, physics, fetal biological growth, biological evolution, geology, mountain structure, and other phenomenon that have later been confirmed by scientific research. Okay. Okay. Okay, here's a cool one. According to Wikipedia, Muhammad split the moon in half.
Oh,
Splitting of the moon while standing on the Mount Abu Qubais. I don't know how to pronounce that. He splits the moon into 2 parts. That's pretty badass.
Okay, so what that's like telepathy or no, not telepathy, but like ESP.
He can explode moons. That's a pretty
Okay.
badass one.
That's sort of like that'd be like the ability to just like
Oh.
move matter. Right?
Apparently, he made a bunch of warriors go blind when they tried to assassinate him.
Oh shit! So he can just turn motherfuckers blind.
Yeah. He used to heal the sick and cure the blind by only touching the patient.
Okay.
So he has some of Jesus's powers too there for healing.
Yep.
Like Wolverine. Success and victory against enemies was a miracle as well.
The miracle of water flowing from the prophet's hands.
Ooh.
Apparently, he can shoot water out of his hands.
The day Muhammad came to Medina, everything there became illuminated, and the day he died, everything in Medina went dark. So he has power over light, and he has prophecies. So I guess he can see the future. On several occasions, he provided food and water supernaturally, quenched the thirst of thousands of his soldiers,
Oh shit!
enabled them to use water for ablution. I don't know what that is. After causing water to pour forth, he caused 2 trees to move at his command. That's pretty badass.
Okay, so he's like an ant whisperer.
Okay, so
as
there's
well?
like a fucking million of these things. He used to speak to the dead and hear them. That's pretty badass.
talk to ghosts.
yeah.
Ghost whisperer. That's a bit necromancery.
Yeah.
So he got a little bit of necromancer in him.
Okay, so there's all kinds of cool
Sounds
stuff.
cool. I mean, both pretty OP.
Both pretty.
Both Jesus
he
and Muhammad.
used to understand the language of animals. That's pretty good.
Ooh, talk to the animals.
Yeah,
that is
that's
a good
pretty
one.
good.
That's a classic one. Jesus, I don't think Jesus was doing that.
No, I don't think so. Okay,
Could be
let's look up
Edge to
Moses.
Muhammad.
Who else? Who
Well,
else?
Moses wasn't a
I guess he's kind of in
Buddha. What Buddha can do?
Oh yeah,
What can Buddha do?
your boy Buddha.
Not much. Just chill, I guess.
We basically just have to watch the South Park episode, Super Friends or whatever. Holy smokes. Character powers. What is this? Teleportation, telepathy, Chinese martial arts, Shaolin Kung Fu,
Dude. Sick.
miracles of Gautama Buddha. Okay, let's see what these are. Oh, yeah. Buddha was said to have possessed and exercised. So the supernatural powers the historic Buddha was said to have possessed and exercised included the 6 higher knowledges, psychic abilities. Oh, there's a big word that I can't pronounce. Clairaudience?
Clairvoyance?
No, this is clairaudience.
Oh.
When clicking on it, it says it's a form of extrasensory perception.
Oh. Clairvoyance, basically.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
That kind of thing.
Telepathy, recollection of one's own past lives, seeing the past lives and rebirths of others.
Cool superpower.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, actually. And the extinction of mental intoxicants. That's pretty badass.
So he can drink as much as he wants. And just boom.
Yeah, he's immune to drugs.
Oh, shit.
Or maybe...
Good luck, Jesus, feeding
Yeah.
him. Yeah, so it's Jesus versus Buddha. He's trying to get him fucked up on wine. He's like, I'm not that drunk. And
I'm not that drunk.
expels the fucking...
immediately quarters Jesus, and Jesus is like, oh,
shit, I got fucked. God damn. That's got to be one of the top podcasts we've done, I think. All right, we got to switch over to Patreon now. We're going to talk more about, I don't know, I guess. We're going to go into hypotheticals, get into the weeds about whether... who's going to win in a battle between the prophets?
psychic abilities. This is a full page on Wikipedia here. Well, it's an article. Okay, let me say what. Okay, so he has abilities such as walking on water, walking through walls, becoming invisible, levitation, and making copies of himself. The Buddha discusses these abilities in several texts. Damn, that's pretty badass.
Dude, Buddha's OP.
Buddha's
Buddha
OP
might
as
be
fuck.
the GOAT, dude.
Damn, that's sick.
All right, we're going to switch to Patreon. Thanks, guys. Peace.